You know, I know some Nintendo fans say they don't want a port of Zelda games like The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, or The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, or even The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask because it's already on other systems like the Nintendo GameCube or the Wii U. But for me, it's the portable aspect of those games and being able to play them anywhere at any time, and that's the main draw for me. Hey guys, it's Rob here, and welcome back to the Robo-chan Show, where we cover the latest gaming news, leaks, and rumors from Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo in 2020 and beyond. If you want to be kept up on the latest gaming news, make sure you click that red subscribe button below this video and that notification bell so you know when I upload. And if you're interested, I have a Patreon, which link to that will be in the pinned comment along with my Twitter account. In this video, we are going to talk about some new words from the Nintendo leaker who says that the Zelda 35th anniversary games are still coming, answer the question, did Nintendo lie at E3 about the Zelda 35th anniversary games, and also talk about past leaks for people who are not familiar with new Marro. I also would like to quickly touch on why I personally want these games on the Nintendo Switch despite them being on other platforms. Because I'll be honest, I think celebrating Zelda this way would be fantastic. Well, Link, technically I guess, but you guys know what I mean, tomatoes. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like or comment on today's topic. It sends signals to YouTube and pushes the video to more viewers when you do. Oh, also shares help as well. And if you want to follow me on Twitter and help me reach my goal of 600 followers, you can follow me at roborob93. Without further delay, let's get to the video. So the Zelda 35th anniversary is something that a lot of people want. For months and months and months, there have been different rumors, leaks, and even signs like trademark renewals and big names in the gaming industry claiming that they were coming in a couple months. But then E3 hit and the Zelda games were a no-show, making those who claim that they had inside knowledge and that the Zelda games like The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and Twilight Princess were heading to Nintendo Switch completely wrong. At the E3 Nintendo Direct, Nintendo stated that they have no plans right now for any other Zelda games or campaigns. Now, the wording was very specific and they didn't outright say that it's not happening, just that they didn't have plans at that time and at that moment, which has created some discussion around the question that has given some Nintendo fans some hope about the Zelda games coming to the Nintendo Switch, and that is, did Nintendo lie about the Zelda 35th anniversary games? And this is where the Nintendo leaker new Marko comes in. Now, we have talked about his Nintendo leaks many times on this channel, and he has been right multiple times in the past, but there also have been times when he's been wrong too, so keep that in mind. Now, on November 18th, 2020, not 2021, but 2020, he said this. Also, WarioWare is another one of those games that are mostly finished waiting for a 2021 release. The Fire Emblem remake should be announced early next year to be released in Q2 of summer. Paper Mario 64 remake is still happening. Now, this was way back in 2021, which isn't really that long ago, but the main point here is that WarioWare did come and it is going to be releasing in 2021. He was 100% right, and this was back in 2020. And quick side note, I really do hope that part about the Paper Mario 64 remake is happening because I would love that. Now, not only that, but on February 16th, which was months ago before the E3 Nintendo Direct, he said some interesting tidbits about the 2D Metroid game that's coming, which even though this is not Zelda related, it will give you guys some more credibility to his name as a Nintendo leaker. Now, this is what he said on February 16th, 2021. Metroid Prime Collection will release next fiscal year. The 2D Metroid Prime is coming late spring. The title will be a throwback to the past, Aeon abilities coming back, some of them brand new. The fusion suit will be back. Now, of course, the bug happened and things did change, so that late spring might have changed, as with a lot of Nintendo Switch games like Breath of the Wild 2 and Bayonetta 3 and all of those games. Now, here's the kick. In reply to someone who said the best way to confirm a leak as fake is if it has anything related to Metroid in any way, and the leaker responded this: Fake Joy Dread. Now, the timestamp on this tweet is February 16th, 2021, months before the reveal of the actual name of the 2D Metroid. And keep in mind, up until E3, we only knew that a 2D Metroid was coming, or it was rumored, I should say. We didn't know that it was going to be called Metroid Dread. Now, the weird thing is, I didn't really see anyone cover this at all, which is kind of shocking. Now, the reason why I mentioned these Metroid leaks is not because not only does it add more credibility to him as a Nintendo leaker, but it also has to do with the Nintendo Direct where we saw Metroid Dread. And in that very same Nintendo Direct, we also saw Nintendo say that they had no plans for any Zelda 35th anniversary content. Now, new Marko has some interesting things to say about that, and this is what he has to say. What do you think? I think they're lying. I'm believing what Jeff Grubbs said, that they're holding Twilight Princess and Wind Waker off just in case the sequel isn't ready next year. And new Marko had this to say about that. That's what I think too, but not just only because possible Breath of the Wild 2 delays, also to cover the possibility of weak months without games. Fire Emblem Remake, Style Boutique / Savvy, and Metroid Prime Collection are suffering the same fate like Pikmin, Wario, and Metroid did recently. Now, when asked if Twilight Princess and Wind Waker are still coming, he says this: "It's happening, but not this year as many people thought." Now, is Zelda lying about the Zelda 35th anniversary content? Well, if you ask me personally, I don't see it as lying exactly. I would see it as kind of twisting the words. Let me explain a bit. This was their exact words at that E3 Nintendo Direct. This year, the original Legend of Zelda game reaches its 35th anniversary. While we don't have any campaigns or other Nintendo Switch games planned, we've been working on this game and watch system as a special item to help mark the occasion and reflect fondly on the earliest days of The Legend of Zelda. The words "this year" and "don't have anything planned" means that they don't have anything planned right now this year. If new Marro's words are to be believed, then this does make a lot of sense that these games are not being planned right now, but are still in the canon, so to speak, and keeping them in that canon just in case Breath of the Wild 2 does need a delay and they have that space to put those games there. Because remember, they said that they're aiming for a 2022 release date, which means Breath of the Wild 2 could potentially still be delayed even further than that. Nintendo would then use the games like Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and Twilight Princess to fill in those gaps. And the reason why they didn't show them at the E3 Nintendo Direct and didn't release them this year is because they have plenty of new Nintendo Switch games to already fill up their spaces, which is just speculation on my part based on the information that we have right now. Now, to update you guys on the other person who said that these games are coming, which is Andy Robinson from VGC, this is his update on the Zelda 35th anniversary games. Update for everyone who's now flooding my mentions: predicting dates is a fool's game and I should have never used the 100% in the original tweet. Zelda fans, sit tight. So even this person who leaked the Super Mario 35th anniversary games are saying sit tight for the Zelda fans, kind of alluding that they're still coming. So what does this all mean exactly? Well, to sum things up, it could mean that Nintendo is just waiting for the time when they have some free slots to release these games, and they will release Twilight Princess and Wind Waker on the Nintendo Switch. But until that happens and there are free slots, Nintendo doesn't have any plans to release these games, and that's why they said that at the Nintendo Direct. And that's where the lying or twisting their words or kind of being a little bit deceptive in their wording comes from. Now, as to why I personally want these games on the Nintendo Switch despite being on the Wii U, the GameCube, and other platforms is because the portable aspect. These games, while on other systems, are missing that part. And not only that, but on other platforms like the GameCube, the games don't look the best. Now, you could say just emulate the game and you'll be fine, but I've tried that and I have run into a lot of issues with the game. Frame rate, resolution, crashes, and other things with emulation, so it's not the best way to play these games. I think a port for the Nintendo Switch would be the best way, in my opinion. Now, keep in mind that this is not confirmed by Nintendo, so don't believe this or you will be disappointed. Again, it's fun to talk about it and speculate about it, but don't go in believing it or you will be disappointed. And I guess I have to say this as well, since there are some people who just don't understand that this info isn't coming from me, but from people who are claiming to have this info. This info is not true, it's not confirmed by Nintendo, it is a rumor or leak coming from someone who is claiming to have this info, not me personally or anyone on YouTube. You would think that some people would have enough common sense to know this, but people have been accusing other YouTubers and me personally of being wrong about this info when I'm just saying what other people are saying. That's what every single person who covers these topics have been doing and have been doing for years on this platform. It's annoying that I have to say this, but here we are. And with that being said, what do you guys think about new Marro's words and this update from Andy Robinson on the Zelda games? Do you think the Zelda games are still coming, or do you think Nintendo just doesn't have any plans for them? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel and leave a like for more videos just like this. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.